Aha, there it is. Hey, what's up, guys? All right. It's been a little while. Hey, awesome. Hey, Melanie. Great. Do you mind if I ask where you're from? You don't have to answer. Oh, it's right in your name, Portland, Portland, Oregon. Mm. Okay. Hey, what is up? What's up, psych ward? Hey, do you want me to call you by a different name, or do you want me how do you want me to call you? You want me to call you psych ward? That's cool. Well, I'm just here because I don't know. I want to chat, and I don't know. I was thinking deep thoughts and shit. Oh, that's cool. All right. Nothing particularly on my mind, but I think it's stuff that we've all been thinking about. Maybe. Um, I think I want to share my thoughts about the selfless self. Him, leaving the protest at this time, and I have nothing against what he did. I think what he did was heroic because he had to be brave enough to go through all of the rejection of his idea and rejection of his feelings. It's a tough spot to be in, but he made it clear, and his friends listened, and it was well received. I was there listening when it was happening. Um, but his message, I have to sometimes process it. I've only seen it once, and he had a lot to say. I'm thinking about what he had to say, and I think one of them is how that. I know this might sound too general, but like how that unity should be there or isn't there. Um, if you guys have any ideas, if you've seen it, you should. It's Selfless Self. It's I think his last live. It's worth a listen to. But anyway, I think it takes reflection on what he said more humbly. Take the time to listen to it and take the time to ponder what he has to say. I'm talking to myself as well because I did see it live, but that was it. I didn't see it again. And for my brain, I probably do need to see it again. But I know it was impactful. I have to pause to reflect. Melody, that's great. I saw some need to watch it again. I was driving home from LA when he went live. Yep. I don't want that to get washed away. Yeah, I would kind of want to keep it alive, Like if we had a poster, I'd put up a poster of, a cool decal of him. Anyway, just as a reminder, I feel like he's fallen to. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it was sad. But, I was there and I was attentive and many of us used empathy to see his viewpoint and he was communicating his viewpoint and he made a very strong stance like, hey, I'm out for my own mental health and well-being because I'm so heartbroken. That's what I got out of it. Um, in in an overall aspect, it's like he's so fucking heartbroken and so depressing, especially to a person who has chronic depression. I have that. He has that, I believe. And you know, um, so yeah, I just want to kind of keep it alive. Maybe I'll repost it. I'll probably repost it. Maybe. Um, I think I'll probably listen to it again first. I'll listen to it at work tomorrow and just reflect on what he had to say. I felt that in my heart that, we should reflect on that. Psych says, I think let me practice my skills. Oh, look at that. I think mental health needs to be discussed more in the community. Understanding others is the key to a healing. It is. But the key the key phrase, whoops, the key phrase is um, sorry, I'm fucking around with this. Understanding others, you know, understanding others. Can we do it? I think it's fun to have discussions. I'm I'm thankful for the humbleness I have, and I think the medications may help with that. I think so. I'm thankful for it. Without them, I'd be worse. And it's on my mother's side, but I can be calm in stressful situations. And I like to discuss things civilly, if possible, no matter what it is. Civilly puts their more analytical ability. It's like you can see it with truth. Just put it on the table gently in front of both people or whoever. And let's look at the situation. To me, that's very civil. And of course, to be honest with oneself and you see if it's true or not. Kind of just going on a thought stream, but um, it feels good to be out here again. What else can we talk about? By the way, if anybody wants to come into the chat, they can. I can send them a link. Hey, Holly, it's so good to see you always. Who's who? He's Tony Baloney. Who is he? What do you mean? My Father's Day mug. My daughter gave it to me. It's cool. I like the color. Nice shape. Oh, it's Tony Baloney. You're talking about me? Like, who am I? Some just look at my past videos. It's nothing special. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Let me figure this out. Okay, Holly. Let me see. I'm learning how to do all this. The more I do it, the better I get. I'm just kind of waiting for her, but yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right. Nice.
What up?
What is? Let me try something. Whoa. Tuck zoomed in. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right, that's cool. I have to ask myself too. Am I okay with this? Yeah, it's cool. So, Selfless Self had a live stream recently. And yeah, okay, I got it. You were explaining to Tony Baloney. Yeah, I was. You heard me talk about that, Holly. Just saying, like, reflecting on Selfless Self's last video, his
No,
message.
I literally like just hopped in.
Yeah, it's a. Did you ever see it?
I don't even know who Selfless Self is.
Oh, okay. I'll send you a link if you're interested. Whatever.
Yeah,
But
please. I'll take a look at
yeah,
it.
he's a longtime protester, and he has his. He's an artist, a drummer, and he has his own perspectives, which I can understand. You know, he suffers depression and other things. I don't. It's not my business. I don't know exactly what, but he's a cool dude. We all love him, and he had a hard time with protest with this community. He had to leave because of his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty upset. From what I got out of it, very saddened by the way it's turning out. And I don't mean being all doom and gloom. We still have our good people and our positivity towards it. But you know what? He made a statement with doing that. You know, and I think it's important not to, let it wash away. I
Yeah.
think we should kind of take another look at it, or at least remind ourselves. Yeah, he's in despair. It's true. Yeah, I can see that. But he's doing the right thing. He says, "This is what I need to do," and I respect that. I respect that a lot, and I think I just wanted to bring it up as like, hey, let's just remind ourselves of what he wanted to talk about. What was his message,
Mm-hmm.
and what was his overall message? And did you guys have any like feedback on what do you think his overall message was? Not to ignore what he said all that time, but he was hitting a certain point. Hey, Afila. I'll bring it up again after I listen to it at work tomorrow. I'll be more fresh on it. But hey, we're talking about whatever. We can change the subject to something else. Let's see. I'm not going to talk about what's going on in the world, okay? I'm just not going to talk about it. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
There's too much.
Yeah, we all understand.
I will say this. Just got home not too long ago from my first ever gay bar. That was fun.
Oh, shit.
We had Pride in our
Was it
capital
cool?
city. It was interesting. They had like a little block party at like spread out into the parking lot as compared to just being inside the club. But like I said, today was Pride, so like everybody's there as compared to like a normal weekend where I've never been before. So I just got immediately introduced to the fucking crowd and just the thumping music and just all that shit. It was just a little too overstimulating.
Okay, I can see that.
But I would definitely check it out.
Did you enjoy it?
I was only there for about an hour.
Okay.
Overall, it was good.
Time. That's cool. Yeah.
And I will say I mainly only what?
Did you meet some cool people?
No, I only met up with a coworker who was going to the place. So he gave me a little tour around, but I wasn't there with anyone my age. So like kind of awkward for me. I'm just kind of standing off to the side, just not sure what to do.
So you're not your age.
Like my coworker is in his like 50s. He's like a proud gay man out in his 50s. Can you hear? I hope you can't hear the fan in the background.
Oh, it's all good.
Can you?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just a dash. It doesn't matter.
He's this older guy in his 50s. He's got a husband. Really nice guy, but just like I said, not my age. So it's like not too much to relate with. And he was a little tipsy, and he was just having his own fun.
Yeah.
I think I just gotta find my own little friend group.
Yeah. Yep.
But overall, Pride was.
I'm in my 50s now too. I'm 50. I just turned 50. I'm an old man now.
Bullshit.
People need to make their own choices, and mental health should be prioritized. Can't be overemphasized. Yeah, it can't. Mental health freedom is such a nice thing to have. Just let somebody be. Understand them and let them be. It's such a nice thing to have.
Or just be a person to listen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
I was about to say, Amy, we already get along. What you talking about?
Amy's stuck in the 80s like me in the 90s.
I only really started listening to 80s music after reading Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I don't know if you know that book.
I know the movie. I haven't seen it. I've been told to watch it several times. The book, I actually wouldn't mind reading the book. I'd rather
It's pretty good. I have it on audiobook, mainly because I can't sit and actually read.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done that for years, actually.
But
the book I did read, which I loved, was Ender's Game. I
haven't read that one yet.
So good.
And I've never seen the movie either.
No, good. Neither have I. I heard doesn't do it justice, but the book Ender's Game is excellent.
I will say there's
easy
one.
too.
there's one movie I've always wanted to see. Well, I've wanted to see ever since I heard it existed. It's not a good movie, and I know what I'm getting myself into. It's Battlefield Earth.
Oh yeah.
I want to
Dude.
see
Hey,
how
I have a
truly god awful that
story
is.
about that.
Oh,
I have
let's
a
hear it.
funny inside story. I mean, not that inside. So anyway, I worked at the movie theater. When I had to work at the cult, I had to get a moonlight, and maybe a 10-minute walk was the movie theater that I worked at. It was like the biggest one in Boston at the time. It was called the Lowe's Theater, and it was a cool gig. But it was like after post, go over there. Like I'm 24 or whatever, and it was a time when the staff were so fucking excited to see it, and so I went with them to go see it, and we got such dirty looks from from the manager and shit. Like they're just like, oh, look at these guys, these fucking cult members, like so excited. Just really shitty movie. So we watched it, man. It was really shitty. It was. The dude who played, I don't know the characters. I never read that shit, but the dude with the blonde hair, he did pretty good. But the rest was ridiculous. But we saw it through rose glasses, and we were like, "Oh, Travolta, wow, OT,"
The only real reason for y'all to watch the movie.
Yeah, and just a bunch of fake praise, I heard he never even did an OT level. Is that even true?
I don't know. Give me 1 second. I'll check his service completions.
Because he's not allowed to get onto the OT levels because of his orientation.
I'm pretty sure he's like OT 5 or OT 6.
Oh, okay.
John Travolta. Let's see what we got here. So, on this website, oh my god, he's done all 3 L's, and on this website it says he's gotten up to OT3, and wait, oh, he hasn't really done much training.
Well, typically the people
OT3 as of the website, but that was back in like 91, so I don't know if he's done anything since then.
Yeah, shit. He's redone everything already.
I wouldn't be surprised. All the fucking revisions and golden ages.
Can you believe that time when it was a time when staff, I should say it's a time in Scientology's corrupted history, when they said they looked at all the PC folders and they found the ones that aren't really clear, and they told those clears, "You're not really clear, you have to redo it." Like, what the fuck? What a scam, dude. That's hilarious.
Then A, to have to redo it at your own expense.
Yep.
And B, the one other part of staff that always pissed me off, and just the technical division or qual in general, having to pay for FESing.
Yeah.
FESing sounds
it's
just
a
like
folder
a
error summary. Like, you made the fucking errors,
Exactly. Like, why can't you? I would say, why can't you refund on the action that you fucked up, or at least be like, hey, we'll do it again for free. But yeah, no, right. Any refund means you get declared and you can't do shit anymore.
Right. Funny time. But the stress people must have felt, Oh, so FES is folder error summary. So I'm not tech trained in that shit, but what I do know, I've seen auditors do it. They go through it and they find any errors they've done. I don't know how, but they do, and they summarize whatever. I don't know. They just do a correction on your PC folder. What that entails, I don't know.
Isn't it usually like repair actions?
No idea.
But I do know that every hour of FESing is a half hour off of your intensive.
Yeah. It pissed me off, man. I've been used for slave labor, not a monetary gain. I was just slave labor for 10 fucking years. But it's pretty funny, man. We'd see people there for 30 years who haven't gone clear. But they're still on
kind of shocking.
staff. Oh, it is. Until you're not working there and you realize this is why. But it's a real scam. Like, you would think that if you have the tech of the mind, right? You have this like jewel of knowledge, and it's true. Like, everything would go right. Everything would fucking like unfold and go right. It'd be easy. It's hilarious how he packages it.
Tom Cruise would actually be able to keep a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Hubbard would have one wife.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He'd be no. Man. Yeah, I was thinking about Hubbard the other day. I was listening to, I don't know who I was listening to. They were mentioning Hubbard. And, oh, I know. I was listening to Liz Gale and Joy Vila. They had a live on, and I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out. And they were talking about the dark stuff of his dark past, and it's pretty cool. This shit's gonna get uncovered even more, and that's damn cool. It's exciting,
Mm-hmm.
Let me get the light's just too bright, and I'm comfortable in the candle. Sorry. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. I'm all mysterious now. I don't want to be that dark. It's just way more comfortable. Is that all right, guys? Yeah. So, what do you want to talk about? Talk about whatever.
I'm gonna go get my Scientology flash drive and see if I can find
Oh,
something.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's good to have you here, Amy. Man, you're up all the time, just like me. It seems like maybe you have the same time frame I do. Yeah, Holly's got some crazy. She can find any reference, Holly. You just have to ask her, say a word, and she'll fucking find it. She's like the tech wizard,
I got called Senior CS Int by Chuck Beatty.
Hey, I like that. No, that's fine, Amy. That's okay. Yeah.
I've been going through Mark Headley's book, Blown for Good. Oh my god, the amount of information.
Hey, what's up, Oregon?
Hey, Oregon.
Doing good. Just chilling out, hanging. There was a word I wanted you to look up the other day, and I just can't remember what it was. I didn't ask you. But
do you know if it was technical, administrative, or something else?
I think it was technical, but it'll come to me. shit.
The more you try to remember it now, the less you
Yeah,
will.
exactly. It's a slippery, man. Slippery suckers. It'll wash us ashore.
Were you ever promised the Universe Core? I don't know if
Oh,
we
of
ever
course,
discussed
of
this.
course. I mean, that sounds so badass, dude. Like total sci-fi role-playing game, like the hardcore. Such fucking funny because we all believed we were fucking real, and we took it so serious. But there's no product, like nothing's happening. There are no fucking clears, no such thing. But we're like going nuts, like, come on, where's the stats, push. All we're pushing for is getting some income.
I'm trying to remember, what was the requirement for Universe Core? Was it St. Hill size or was that something else?
I think it was St. Hill size.
God.
Yeah. And then, dude, Universe Core, man, they delivered the OT levels. Holy shit. And then show the picture, like, really intense, And it got me, dude. I was all into that shit. So weren't some of the other staff, like geeking out over, OT shit. It's pretty funny. Yeah, security there was kind of fun because, like, you had to make the best of what you had. Excuse me. And, we all believed in it. So when I was on security, you'd have to partner up with somebody else. And probably usually be a buddy of mine. We just talk all kinds of shit, like OT stuff, and look at references. It was actually pretty funny. Like, let's look at the factors, man, and like believe all the factors and be blown away.
It almost sounds like y'all are doing it for fun.
Yeah,
But my brain is just like, why would you find that fun?
I
Like,
know.
yeah, the axioms,
Oh, it's crazy, man.
logics, all that shit.
Well, you think you're getting this core truth, like this core hidden truth that was found by Lafayette, and it was nuts, man. It's powerful what belief can do. It can suck you in. It can get you into all kinds of problems. The power of belief. See, deception is only a deception if it's believed. And we don't know if we're deceived. If we're being deceived, we don't know we are. We believe in something that's not true. We don't even sniff it. We don't smell it. So a good deception does that. And that's what Scientology did to a lot of us. It's a good deception. Because I was seeking answers. Like, I was seeking spiritual answers. I didn't find Jesus yet. I didn't go on my Christian path at all. I was looking at everything else. And it was cool. I love Buddhism and Taoism. That was really cool. The simple philosophies to live by without being so strict. It allows you to kind of be yourself. And that's just how dynamics got me, I was a curious person. I was fresh for the picking. And I was eager. I was very eager. And I was prime bait, man. I got it. They got me. I was easy to join on staff because I guess they saw how intense I was. Like, oh, this guy's a sucker.
They saw how focused you could get.
But in my heart, I thought it was a real thing. In my heart, I thought it was real. And that's the sad part. It's like how many hearts have been deceived. You know,
Looks like you cut out. Just gonna wait. I wonder if StreamYard can, if it still runs in the background when you're like looking at another application. Oh, I'm alone. Oh God, this isn't my stream. I don't feel like I need to be here. Well, I hope he comes back in shortly. Summer's all right. It's starting to get a little hot, but it's not too bad. Just not sure what to do. What the fuck? Dog's being a pain in the ass. I'll be right back. Nope. Still out. Me.
no, I'm gonna be here. Hey,
There we go.
Back.
A little technical difficulty.
I don't know what happened, man. It was weird. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. That's cool. Some weird shit.
Host is trying to stop us from talking.
Yeah, that's all cool. The connection's a little fuzzy. Yeah, connections get a bit fuzzy.
I was gonna say, cool if I do some OT 420.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
please. Yeah, nice, man. I got some myself.
Nice. What strain you got?
It's called Clarity. Clarity.
Interesting name, Sativa.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, mine's a blueberry.
No, hybrid.
Apple.
I like hybrids.
I tend to be an indica chick.
Indicas are cool. If I'm totally chill. But yeah, during the day, I like hybrids because it chills my mind out, but it keeps me awake. I don't know. It's a nice balance. Plus, I think most sativas I use, it seems, kind of get me more anxious a little bit. I've had bad experience where not a horrible experience, you know what I mean, but just like uncomfortable, where a sativa makes me a bit more less relaxed, where my mind needs to calm down, and it helps a lot with that.
was it just anxiety, or did you also get like the weed paranoia?
I don't get that. No, thank God. Yeah. Oh, platinum Bubba. That sounds pretty nice.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with being giggly on sativas?
Yeah,
It means you're having a fun time.
Giggly's cool. Yep. Whoops, it's charging.
I was gonna say I've been gaming a bit more lately. Do you do card games at all?
Yeah,
Have you ever?
I did.
Do you game on Steam?
No.
Do you game on any
Unfortunately not.
video consoles?
Just the Xbox Series X.
Okay. I was gonna say, you ever heard of Balatro?
No.
Okay,
Wow,
it's
Philatro.
this I'll put it in the chat. This game.
Okay, Philatro. And is it on the console?
It should be, I think. Hang on, let me check to see if it's on.
Let's check that out.
Do you have Game Pass with your Xbox or no?
I have the cheap one, just so I can be online. I don't want to spend $20 a month. I'm cheap like that. It's expensive.
So Balatro is $15.
15?
Yeah, it's just a card game. You play poker hands, you get points. You use every time you win a round or whatever, you get money, and you can purchase jokers that have different abilities based on your cards. So you'll be like, all right, maybe I want this round to be all about flushes or two pairs or whatever, and so you'll buy jokers that'll up the point power of like a two pair or whatever. And the whole point is just to go through different rounds, different antes, and see how high your score can get.
That's cool. And it's been keeping you occupied? Like, it's a good puzzle for your brain?
I'm cool. Playing it right now while we talk.
It's funny. My daughter's infatuated with Marvel Rivals, and, makes me infatuated with it too. I've been playing for a while now. I'm like, okay. A lot of people got bored of it. I was like, I'm still having fun. I get into making every character up to like the Lord level, and that's my little detail I get into. I want to make every character like upright, and I've got a few so far.
If I ever played, I would just be playing. Very proud.
What's that?
I'd just be playing Jeff the whole time. If I was
yeah. That's my daughter. And she's infatuated with Jeff. Yeah, he is. So she's gonna have a Jeff birthday.
Oh my god,
dude,
that is awesome.
I know. Let me see. Have you all seen Manifest on Netflix? I've been watching it for days, and it's so interesting. I have no idea what it is. I'd be curious.
I'm gonna look it up.
Mm-hmm. You want to read the summary?
When Montego Air Flight 828 landed safely after a turbulent but routine flight, the crew and passengers were relieved. But in the span of those few hours, the world had aged 5 years, and after mourning their loss, their friends, families, and colleagues had given up hope and moved on. Now faced with the impossible, they're all given a second chance. But as their new realities become clear, a deeper mystery unfolds, and some of the returned passengers soon realize they may be meant for something greater than they ever thought possible.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy. Huh. I mean, hey, Look, if you got the imagination, you can write it.
That's pretty cool, actually. I kind of
Yeah.
want to watch that.
I know, no shit. That sucks. Yeah, I hate when that happens. But yeah, to each their own. I saw a good movie the other day. My wife and I, we watched Straw. That's on Netflix.
Never
Now,
heard of
some of the acting is, second rate, in my opinion. But if you look past that, it's actually pretty cool.
I'm looking it up now.
I don't know who this guy. His name's. I don't know who this guy is.
So the overview is vague, but definitely enough to like, just barely enough to like, kind of get me into the idea.
I'm just doing something here. So, dude, I in my. Hold on. Shit. I have the guy, right? He's in my stage. He's in my backstage. His name's Isaac Spiritman. So I'm just gonna boot him, right?
I'm just looking at the username. Like, the hell?
Hold on.
I am going to hop into your live stream.
Okay, that's
in
cool.
another window. I kind of want to click on their channel just to see what they are.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't know who the hell the guy is. Let's see here.
They seem to be a live streamer. A Christian live streamer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know them. So. Oh, that's him. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, bro. I just not right now. That's cool. I know. How do you make these chats more like personal? I don't know. But I appreciate your interest. Sorry. Not right now. Thanks, buddy. God bless you. Yeah, I haven't ever got into true crime. I bet if I did, it really would be intriguing. And you do learn a lot. You learn a lot of the enemy. You learn how to catch the signs and all that. But I'm sure it can make one pretty paranoid as well. I'm sure.
I was gonna say, I'm kind of curious now. Who did you have a DSA, or was that position held from above?
Yeah, we had a DSA. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Got any stories?
I don't want to say his name though. He was an OC.
Okay.
What? Yeah. What's that? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I think we're on quite a bit of a delay when it comes to the stream.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I was saying, even if you keep them anonymous, got any stories about
them? Yeah, dude, I do. A really important one. Because it just shows you how phony fucking OTs are. So I've said this story once before, I think, but I think it's good to go over it again. Now, I'm sitting at the Purif area. I was the Purify C. And, there was an opening right there, like where the door would be. And, people would walk by, go up the stairway. There's a stairway right near me. And he went by me, and he's like, hey, he said with all this, like, intense face. He's like, and he had these buggy eyes, like Rodney Dangerfield. Seriously.
Oh my god.
No, it was fucked up. So he goes, I could turn my hair white if I want to, right? And then turn it back to black. I was like, wow. I was intense about it. I thought it was real. I was like, really? Oh, that's so cool. I'm like, wow, this OT is telling me this. Like, this is like, wow. And I thought it was like a really cool moment. And now, after all these years, you find out he's just fucking with me. It's all, obviously. But when you think about his intention at the time, he knew it was bullshit. He completely knew it was bullshit. Hey, I could change my hair, and of course he couldn't.
But like,
it's so fucked up.
I don't know. It just seems like such a mundane thing to like.
It really is. I think maybe because he knew I was like a gullible person. I have to admit, like, maybe I don't see my gullibility. I don't know. I don't like to think myself as gullible.
Mm.
But maybe he knew I was really intense into it, And he's like, he knew it was full of shit. But he knew if he could create that illusion of like get some admiration from this role-playing game, some bullshit.
But it's just with OTs, it's just all talk. It's no proof of anything. The only proof was fucking ability magazines, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the OT phenomena! I found my
I used to love
after I postulated where they were.
I know. I used to read that stuff and go, wow, So Amy has a question. She says, did you talk about that you were a Scientologist when you weren't working at the org? What did you talk about the fact that you were a Scientologist when you weren't? Yeah. Yep, I was always a Scientologist. I would keep myself distant because I love the freedom. Living in Cambridge, Mass, right near MIT, right near Harvard Square, working at Blockbuster Video or the movie theater, like I fucking loved it. It was great. It was a real joy, and that's the best joy I got in my 20s. And the rest was just slave labor and bullshit. Did I answer the question? Does that make sense?
Seems like it does.
Let's see now. Any other questions? I love your icon. It's cool. So, Afila, question: what did they tell you about protesters in Anonymous? They were using fear tactics, and it worked for me. They would show us, and I was still kind of new. I never saw anything so intense. They go, GSA has an important briefing. We all have to be there, They do a head count, muster, and it's all fucking serious. And then he has a video presentation, and it showed Anonymous doing their video of like the mask and the fuzzy, screen and all that. And I was just like, holy shit, who are these guys? And like, this is who our enemy is, and they gave us just a briefing about how evil they are and what they're trying to do, which is a lie. I didn't find out what Anonymous was until after I left and looked into all the shit I wasn't supposed to look at. Then I was like, oh shit. Wow, Anonymous is actually pretty fucking cool. Like, that was a historic moment. And yeah, it's funny. Let's see here. Amy, did I answer your question? Well, do you think I answered it? I don't know. I'm trying to get my candle to get a little brighter. Let me try something. Oh, shit.
Hey, Miriam.
Hey, Miriam. Shit, that's bright. Okay, awesome. Miriam's here. Hey, it's awesome. Hey. What time is it over there, Miriam? Yeah, Valley Girl for sure. Whatever can work to make them think. The indoctrination's so heavy. However, just remember that they are staff. They're not all loyal drones to the queen. You know, it's like a lot of them are struggling and they have a lot of doubts. Like if those who are really in doubt, like I was at times, oh wow, 7 a.m. Hearing somebody say the right thing might just push me even further to get out of there. You know, I did it through the routing forms. I had to be like, hey, I don't want to be here. I just call in the ethics officer. You know, I'd go in the office and just be like, yeah, I can't handle this. I'd be all nervous and shit about it. You know, freaking out. But it was that serious. Like you can't handle it. And but you still believe in it. Yeah, man, we can find those right things to let me see here. I know there's the right phrases to say. There's some already that we have. You see, I wore an anonymous mask on stream, and an ex said they were triggered by it. Yeah, yep. They know now it was lies, but she was ingrained that they were there to harm them. Yeah, it's you know, damaging somebody's psyche, damaging somebody's brain. It's like one of those things that people don't know they do. Some do, but anyway.
Sorry, I'll be right back. Gotta go grab the dog.
Cool. Oh no. So throat hurts. Oh no. Sorry, Miriam. You know what's worked for me always? Whenever I get like the beginning of a cold or flu, whatever. COVID's a different story, you know. But I'd use Alka-Seltzer Plus, the little tablets you put in the water. dude, that shit kicks the ass out of whatever is coming up. I take it for a day or two, and I'm doing good.
They're a fucking miracle product, to be honest.
They are. They are.
Only as I've gotten older do I realize how good they are.
Yeah. No kidding, right? Oh, yeah, you were protesting yesterday. That's right. And there was two young girls. Oh, my God. Miriam, wow. That's so funny, man. It really is. I'm trying to think of the fear tactics. We thought that Anonymous was just a hack group. Like they're going to hack your computers and they're going to fuck things up for you because they're SPs. What a fucking joke, man. What a lie. But we believed it because we trusted the source of the information. Oh, God. Well, we're painted as crazy. We're painted as totally squirrel. We're painted as a person influenced by psychiatry that way. All kinds of shit. And yeah, I remember that. I remember all that. I remember wanting to go to a CCHR protest, but I just never did. I think I was opposed, but I was always like, yeah, I want to go.
Sorry, hold that thought.
It's all cool. But I'm happy that I never went. They think it's pretty badass. They think like, yeah, we're confronting the devil in their own way. They think they're so fucked up. It really is funny. Like, oh, really? Yeah, that's funny. Oh, hey, what's up? Good to see you here, T. Thanks for stopping in. So for T, it's 12 hours difference where I am. So it is 1:12 over there, p.m. It's pretty wild. So she's eating her lunch, and I'm like ready for bed. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm ready to crash too. I mean, I'll be up as long as I'm sitting down here on my computer, but as soon as I fucking lay in that bed, I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah, same. So, so we're just chatting about whatever. Yeah, you're right. What did I see from staff kids? I did see a lot of staff kid stuff. Nothing major, like you hear the stories here from XSO, but a lot of the kids were just rebellious. They didn't want to be their parents. I know this one couple, they worked in the org overnight, the foundation, and they had a family of 3 or 4. Like, I can't imagine how they got the household together. Kids weren't really in. They didn't want to be there. One of them rebelled hardcore. I'm just stating that because, hey, look, we're all different. I rebelled too at times, but there's supposed to be these responsible Scientologists who have the tech. and their kids are like, fuck off. You know, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. But we'd see him having to work, coming in for all hands, having to help with fucking dumb shit.
Were you
And,
on either the
what?
executive or the advisory council?
Say it again?
Were you on either of the councils, the executive or the advisory?
Thank God. Thank God. I would fucking, that's anxiety. I see the people go in there. Dude, this guy was always fucking wreck. This guy was always holding back his anxiety. So you can tell he's holding it back, trying to keep his TRs in. It's so funny. It was difficult to watch. And I would want nothing to do with it. But yeah, I remember writing, what were they called? PPOs or something? Or no. I can't remember what you wrote to. I'm glad I can't remember. But what you wrote to get something financially. Like, I need vitamins for the Bureau. And you got to write this fucking thing. And it's for the advisory council and shit. They look at them all.
Trying to see if I can find what I did with my financial notes.
And sometimes you get fucking disapproved and you're like, dude, I got to deliver the Pure. What the fuck? Like, give me the vitamins. Now I'm stressed out. Oh, there were several times, many times, where I spent my own money on the vitamins. You know, with little money I fucking had. Because of their purchase order. Yeah, purchase order. It's a PO. I think it's called purchase order. And yeah, it was a fucking stressful time, man. Oh, I had always had stress there. Always. And so did everyone else, for the most part.
I mean, Miriam, I would present the information, and I will. I can put up what I have on. I'll put it up. I'll put it up on resources.sptv.space. But I will say all of y'all will need a specific software program to run this. It's called Cherry Tree, and it is a hierarchical note-taking application. So I've got stuff nested within stuff within stuff within stuff. Like I have. Hold on, let me see what I got for a second. Because I kind of split it up. It started taking too long to save the full note file when I hit Control S, so I split it up into two, and now it's people 1 and people 2, and so I have A through M and then N through Z in the second one.
Yeah, it's intense, man.
Events, documents, organizations, rules, tech, and culture, and terminology. Oh, and posts too. I'm trying to learn about as much of the organizing boards as I can.
Yep. Yeah, when it comes to a class 5 orgs, you can ask me. I should know. You know?
Trying to open up the posts one now. All right. I do have one question. What the fuck is a supercargo?
Oh, you got me on that one. First question. I have no idea. I know I've heard it. Do you have like a admin dictionary?
I can grab it. Give me 1 minute.
I think it's probably in there. I think it's in like a Sea Org position.
Okay. Supercargo. Nope, don't want to Just get me the goddamn entry. I don't want to hear all of the words that have been mentioned previously in other entries. Just get me the fucking entry. Supercargo. All right. Well, first off, this is going to be quoted by Hubbard, so it may not make sense. In early
Yeah.
days, there was an HCO secretary in charge of the functions of the first three divisions, exec, HCO, and DSEM, and an ASOC sec in charge of the functions of the last four. The org board evolved further, and the HCO exec sec became the person in charge of the functions of the first three divisions, and the org exec sec the last four. In the Sea Org, these titles became supercargo and chief officer, but the functions were similar. Department 20, the supercargo, has general control and authority over Divisions 7, 1, and 2, and Departments 1 to 6, including communications, personnel, inspections, ethics, orders, publications, handbooks, manuals,
Right.
operator manuals, ship plans, crew education, schedules, crew records, books and papers, shore contacts, entering and clearing vessels. He is responsible for profitable activities.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. I remember that vaguely. But that is yeah, we didn't use that. That was an older term, right?
I have no idea when they
Yeah, I
started
think
using it.
that's an older post, or it's a whatever. I don't care.
I do have one question. Within your org, did you feel you had any kind of rivalry with another, like,
Oh yeah,
local-ish org?
and
Like, who
fucking
was
our
your biggest
foundation,
rival?
our foundation org. Like the next shift, the shift that takes over, we were two separate orgs. Like how stupid is that, right? You should just have one org, but they do two orgs, and yeah, we were at rival all the time. Sometimes stress, sometimes tension, sometimes not. Mostly not, but you'd see tension sometimes. It was ridiculous.
Was there
And I don't think there's any other orgs. No,
was
not
there
that I
any,
know of.
like, one stat or set of stats that, like, they may have outperformed you in, or that you always outperformed
I
them
have
in?
no. I never paid attention. I didn't. I never paid attention to that. Like, oh, this org got more purifiers than I did. I mean, that sounds like a cool concept. I probably would look at those. I had no access to that information, or I didn't pursue it. I never really cared. I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
but it's a good question. I think if I had the information, I would have looked at it. Otherwise, I have to search for the information.
Did you have any missionaires come to your org at all for some other reasons?
Oh yeah,
Like what?
yep. We had our whole cast of characters. It's like a sitcom. Yeah, they come in and hear, oh, it's them. You know, we had this couple from the Free Winds. Uh, the woman was cool, but she was like, she had little tabs on her lectures books. Her lecture book would have like 50 tabs on it, just to look up any reference. Like it's a fucking like Can you think for yourself? Shit. And it's funny. They'd come in, they pretend everything's fine, but they gotta get their stats. They gotta make some money. You see them regging. You know, the same. It becomes a pain in the ass, especially as a staff member, because you got to set up for the event. Oh, the free ones are here. Great. Gonna take a fucking Sunday morning or Saturday and, you know, go set up for the fucking free ones event by putting up this backdrop and getting the chairs and all that bullshit. And it was exhausting mentally. It was like, I hated it because you just wanted to be off. And the event happens and it's the same corny shit, the same corny ending. and then they read you. I did my job, I guess. My job might be like, oh, get Mrs. Noodles, get her sitting over here with the reg, and that was about it. Same thing with the flag events. The same thing. We had the same person come. She was a nice person. I felt bad for her, just because she seemed to be. You could feel her pain. Like you could see that she was going through pain emotionally. At least I could. It was like. Every time she arrived, you kind of had this empty. I was like, I don't know why. She did have like a list. It wasn't horrible, but she did have one. But she was a fine person. But she'd have to push for the flag events. We'd see her all the time for the IAS event, like the local ones. I don't know why I want to say Patty and Brian Cunningham, but I don't know if that is who it is. One guy acted like he was Braveheart. He's like kind of Scottish, and like he's all like fucking pumped, like he was like living in Braveheart, and everyone like trying to get the crowd excited. And I was kind of like, wow, he's so intense, because he'd talk about destroying psychiatry. It was so fucked up. And I think it was the wife. She'd come with these fucking cookies from New York, and she'd only give one away if someone donated like 5,000.
Oh, shit! Lost him in the middle of a story. Damn it! And now we wait. I've never looked at at CCHR tweets, stand tweets, all that shit. But I'd be interested in checking that out at one point. Welcome back. Feel better, Miriam?
I think it's my end. I think my end is kind of weak right now.
Say you're using Wi-Fi or data?
Feel better, Miriam. Take your medicine if you need. Wi-Fi.
T, are you referring to flag orders and base orders?
Meanwhile, I'm thinking about that certain word or phrase that I want to find in whatever LRH reference. I'm still trying to find that word.
I will say one thing. I only spoke with Mark Plummer, aka Warrior, only like once or twice, but I will admit the only thing I ever got from him when it came to like material was just a list of flag orders and base orders on like this old CD.
Wow.
And it has been a fucking treasure trove.
Oh man. From what years?
Starting at flag order number 1 and then going all the way to 4052. But I don't have all 4052. It just kind of, it's like random numbers in the middle, whatever they could find.
Yep.
Number 1 started on 12 August 1967.
Wow.
And then 4052.
Kathy, thanks for being here. Good night, Kathy. I always appreciate you being here. Sweet dreams. Hey, Sue. Let's see.
So the newest one I have is from 30 November 1996 called Sea Org Policies on Children.
Whoa. Is there any like little nugget in there you can read?
I'm actually just reading it for the first time right now.
What? That's fucking awesome. Look, that's gold. That's gold, man.
I used to fucking have I used to have the Flag Order Friday series that I did. I had made like 9 videos of it. I got myself a little captain's hat. Saluted.
Dude, you gotta do it again. Listen, this one, you want to start it right now, or is it long?
It is. Give me a second. 3 pages.
It's up to you, bro. Like, do you want to listen?
I'm always down for a reading.
No, do it, man. This is like,
all right.
This is gold. So read the title again.
So this is Flag Order 4052 from the 30th of November 1996, called Sea Org Policies on Children. It cancels Flag Order 3905, which is called Children, Sea Org Members, and Sea Org Orgs. It references Flag Order 804, Ethics, Executive Directive 206 flag called Midshipman, Flag Order 788 called Children. Each child must be personally told this. Oh God, I hope I have 788 now. 485, the Parents' Council is, in quotes, 760, Cadets Children Designation, and 1630 called Governess. So those are the references.
Okay.
We are making a safe environment in which ethics, tech, and admin can be put in on a planet in order to be able to run out the 4th dynamic engram, LRH FO 1725R, Command Intention. The Sea Org requires a special dedication, and not all are up to it. As LRH put it in Flag Order 2588, few are chosen. So many are called and few are chosen. Those you see here in the Sea Org are the guys who get the show on the road. Those who don't see here couldn't make the grade. Those you see here did. And that's the quote. From inception, the Sea Org has been a group without peer and without compromise. There's a rich tradition of service where Sea Org members are on call 24 hours a day, where at an instant's notice, a Sea Org member may be sent halfway around the world to put things right. Even the day-to-day routine of the Sea Org is frankly rigorous and demanding, as well as challenging, adventurous, and rewarding. Rewarding bullshit!
I know, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, rigorous. Yeah, that's for sure. Consider Indeed. Fucking sleep deprivation and all that.
Right? Yeah, 24 hours notice means get the fuck up at 2 a.m. We have a fucking ethics flap.
Man.
Or staying up all night doing an amends project because you got lower conditions.
I remember that shit. I remember doing that shit.
What kind of punishments did they give you for lower conditions?
You're not approved by the group, so you get shunned, kind of. It's like, oh, you're in lowers. Yeah, I really shouldn't associate with you that deep because, can't trust you yet. Yeah, it's fucked up. So you kind of feel like, doubt. It's like a psychological. And then when you got to make up the damage, they use you for labor. They use you for, that's what the AI always did. You went to do labor, something. And then, unless you got really creative. But then you get it signed by everybody. Nervous because you're like, oh, it has to get approved. Like the majority of the people have to approve of it. Hey, when you read it and you're hoping that it's good, the guy's not going to be like, I've had it happen to me a couple times where they read it and they're like, no, because they just want to see me do more. It's fucked up. And
It is messed up.
you'd be all scared and fucking anxious about it, and it's for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's like, wow. Powerful.
And that just reminded me of just stuff. I'm gonna be honest, stuff I should have done back when I infiltrated Boston for like the first time. I went in there questions blazing. Like I just had so many questions for class 5 staff that I later realized, like the day after, I was like, wait a minute, these questions aren't for class 5, they're for SO. And I was just so fucking pissed at myself.
Yeah, there is a big difference. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
But yeah, now my brain is I'm trying to tell myself, it's like, if you ever go into another church again, treat it like a role-playing game.
Yep.
And you're
have a strategy. Yeah, have a good strategy. They probably have a picture already.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised. I mean, they have a fake name on there. A fake name, fake address, fake phone number.
Wow. They do?
Yeah, I'm not going to give them my real shit.
Oh, of course. I thought you said they had it, like, there. That's good. Yeah, I'm stuck with getting letters still. I still get letters.
About what?
Dude, like, when you're on staff, they stat push, right? Just like we were talking about these special events, like the AOLA and shit. I remember because they had a stat push. They're like, oh, put $1 towards your OT course. So I put a fucking $1 towards an OT course. Put it there for the future. Flows for the future. All this bullshit. Okay, they're pushing my ass for it. They need that fucking stat. So I still get mail. Hey, you put $1 down for this OT series. It's like 30 fucking years ago, man. Feels like it. Feels like it.
God.
It's nuts, dude.
The fact that they're willing to be that persistent.
Well, I'll tell you, because it's policy that the more letters out means more income. He demands that. It's like magic. The number of letters you put out, the more income you're going to get. So what orgs will do, class 5 orgs will be like, we need to get income. Okay, starting after Thursday, after staff meeting, Friday, whatever, they fucking start right off writing letters. Like, we're going to get a ton of letters out so we can get some of that income. Yeah, it doesn't sound that bad, except when you realize central files is mostly address unknowns and shit like that. I would grab a stack of files and like you might be able to use like maybe, this much with addresses that are actually there. And some of those addresses are people from the 80s. So you're like, shit out of luck. So when you get a letter, this was Department 7, Division 2. Letters out, I think. Central files.
I've got central files and I've got letter registration.
Yeah, that's what we all did all hands for that shit. It was fucking like peeling potatoes in the military, back in the old days. It's like writing letters and you just write the fucking same thing over and over. You know what the fuck to write.
I found the letter Reg hat.
See, when you read the hat, it sounds all nice, but it's nothing like that. You know? So,
I forgot we were reading Flag Order 4052.
yeah, shit. Sorry, man. Totally
No, it's
sidetracked.
okay. I'm having fun.
Yeah. So.
Indeed, the demands are such that a Sea Org member's dedication to the third and fourth dynamic is virtually absolute. That is why the Sea Org commands the respect that it does, and what accounts for Scientology's advance, and ultimately the hope of man. The rationale for this... What?
Hey, Nico.
What's up?
Good to have you here. Hey, yep. Man, sorry. Am I interrupting?
No, you're good. I just want to make sure I'm not cutting you off.
No, you're not. I'm just looking for my thingy.
All right. The rationale for this dedication is summated by the Commodore in LRHED 339R int, revision of the birthday game, 1982/83. Quote is, "We do not have any infinity of time to do the job. The future could make the past on this planet look like a holiday." Bullshit.
I believed in it too. Fucking, it's like lines like those that get you like solidified in it, because every adult around you is doing the same fucking thing, and you're like, wow, it must be real. You know, I'd be in those situations, and you know, you're just like, whoa, that's intense. And fucking these older people at the time in my 20s, they're in their 50s and older, and they're all like all serious about it. You know, I'm like, damn. You know, they have that illusion of being valid. Pretty wild.
From that perspective, it becomes essential the Sea Org be comprised, not compromised, only of those individuals who share a common reality, who operate selflessly on the third dynamic to the benefit of the fourth. After all, our determination as a group is the aggregate of each individual member's dedication. Where the fuck did I have it earlier?
Man, that's some serious programming.
Oh god, there's a section called Children in the Sea Org. It is a fact that the exigencies of the Sea Org and the bearing and rearing of children do not mix well. In this respect, forced abortions. In this respect, the Sea Org is no different than any other religious orders, which historically have adopted even stricter rules for the second dynamic, generally celibacy. Moreover, with our understanding of life, we know that a baby is not a blank slate to be inscribed only by the experiences and education of this lifetime. He or she must be permitted the causative and self-determined choice that we all made to serve in the Sea Org for the benefit of all. Membership is not an automatic consequence of family or heritage. Based on these facts and the reality that the Sea Org can only be effective if it consists of individuals who can devote 100% of their attention toward its vital purposes, the Sea Org will in the future only accept minors within its ranks who themselves have decided to be Sea Org members and signed a contract. They will become cadets until such time as they are ready to graduate and assume full post responsibilities. Sea Org recruitment policy is therefore amended accordingly, and this is one of the all caps lines.
Oh yeah, hey PK.
A young person. Wait, what?
PK. He's like, I understand absolutely nothing of this, but I enjoy it. It's funny.
A young person will be accepted in a Sea Org unit only if he or she has decided on his or her own volition to join the Sea Org and has signed a Sea Org contract. The fact that one's parents are Sea Org members or wish to join the Sea Org does not modify this requirement in any way. A young person must, of course, be of an age to make an informed decision, and it must be his own decision in full. Earlier, the age of 10 was established and remains as the minimum age for children of Sea Org members to be ready to join. Can you imagine making that commitment at 10?
What?
I said, could you imagine making that commitment at the age of 10?
I think they convince him. The parents do.
I mean, I just read about a fucking one Sea Org member who worked over in the galley at Gold on their EPF, and it was like 1990 or something like that. They were 8, and they were standing in the water in the sink in the galley to wash dishes.
Holy shit! Yeah, what it's really like, man. The stories are all coming out. They have been coming out. There's so much more. You realize how many more stories there are. It's just I hate to say it's just us, but we've grown and we've solidified, but there's so many more.
It's a rabbit hole of stories I still have yet to finish digging.
I can't wait till people start coming out, man. One person, 2 people.
If people don't talk publicly, I'll probably just end up sharing their story anyway through my knowledge database. All right, so there was a quote from LRHED 206 called Flag Midshipman. Oh no, from 206 Flag called Midshipman. The quote was, "Sort out all children of 10 or above in the SO in EU, US, and UK. Recruit them formally as SO recruits with rank of cadet."
Whoa, that's like fucked up, because the way I pictured that, especially what year did he write that?
Let me see if I have it in my thing.
I mean, it's not that important.
Oh, but it is to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. Is that
I do not have 206. I have 204 and 208. So I will look at 208 and see when that came out. Okay, and then 204. Literally, those two were within 2 days of each other between October 2nd, 1967 and October 4th, 1967.
Okay, there you go. Wow. So 67. So know what image I got? Is all these kids who are in the SO back in the 60s, no care, no accountability from the parents, they're not cared for, identity wise. And this comes out and they round them all up. Who knows in what condition? Kids are crying, who knows, Okay, you're Sea Org now. You go this way. Anyone 10 and up, Sea Org. That's what LRH said. All right, you're all Sea Org, 10 years old. Boom. That's kind of scary, man.
Well, that's kind of the shit that happened with Janice Gillum Grady and her family. Her mom joined the Sea Org, and then the kids joined the mother on the Apollo.
Yeah. I mean, this still happens today, that scenario, but I'm looking at that particular event, like that time period, must have been pretty intense for some kids, man. Even the parents. Now, you might even how many parents lost their kids when LRH said that. Oh, my kid's going to the SO somewhere else. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you just have to take it. So fucked up. Yeah, I could see that, T. That's a good job, but yeah. That's a good one, man, because that was so blatant. It was so straightforward. Yeah, 10 it up, Sea Org. I don't think they gave him a fucking choice either. They're just saying that to be pretty.
Just so the government doesn't fucking get Hubbard wanted again.
Yeah.
In addition, it often occurs that children of Scientologists who are not Sea Org members want to join the Sea Org, even if their parents do not. In this case, the minimum age may vary from country to country depending on local laws. The Office of Special Affairs is responsible to issue the needed instructions in this regard. To operate as a Sea Org member and to contribute as a cadet, the young person must be able to read and write well and must have a basic education so that he can study. The student hat is not a basic education. Therefore, to join the Sea Org, a young person must pass a literacy test. The above requirements for a young person to join the Sea Org are in addition to existing Sea Org staff qualifications. Now, there's a section called Not Retroactive. The Sea Org recruitment policy set forth in this flag order is not retroactive. Sea Org members who had children following the issuance of Flag Order 3905 and were then posted in a Class 5 org are expected to return to the Sea Org once their child is old enough to join the Sea Org and does so.
Shit, dude. So can we pause right there? So from what I understand, it's a lot of data, but what I can get is that in that time period, 67, you got your staff like your mom, right? Or, you know, your mom, dad, whatever you have, your kid and org, and you feel like you're doing the right thing. And here comes this order, right? And it just, again, it sweeps the kid away. Because that order is like, you got to follow the order. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, that sounds pretty scary, dude.
And it's a fucked system.
And there's probably people who remember that order, who remember that order and have stories about it.
Well, I mean, considering that this order... Oh, wait, no, this order's from 96. Never mind. I don't know why I thought this was from, 67. But... Oh, no, they're quoting from 67. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. While stationed in the Class 5 org, however, they do not have the status of a Sea Org member, but fall under the command structure of the Class 5, unless specifically posted in a command position or as head of a network.
So he's in a position. They already explained labor.
So
they're in a position at that age?
Sea Org members who had children. Oh no, the parents who had the kids were posted to Class 5s. I was about to say, you're going to let a 10-year-old be the head of a network?
Oh, shit.
Page 3. Don't got that much left.
Okay, right.
This rule applies to any Sea Org member who became pregnant prior to the issuance of this flag order. A separate new flag order for 4050 Sea Org members and children has been issued, which governs Sea Org members who are posted in Class 5 orgs. All children and cadets currently in the Sea Org may remain if they so desire. They will be trained standardly in the cadet school of their Sea Org base, according to Flag Order 4051, Sea Org bases cadet schools.
Wait, so you did read earlier, correct me please if I'm wrong, you did read earlier though that the kids, if they're 10 and up, have to leave the org and go to the Sea Org, right?
Sea Org members who had children were then posted in a Class 5 are expected to return to the Sea Org once their child is... Okay, so the children are not coming to the Sea Org. The parents are going back once their child is old enough to join the Sea Org and does so.
Gotcha.
Oh, no, wait. No, the child is joining the Sea Org. Holy shit.
Yeah, because he says 10 or up there in the Sea Org.
Goddamn. Well, that wasn't even from the LRH quote. This was from fucking Flag Order 3905. When did that come out? Now I'm going on another. Oh, I have it. April 3rd, 1991.
Oh,
so this is a scavenge flag order.
Oh shit, dude! This is some good stuff.
Holy okay, I got a lot more notes to take. But no. The summary: our goals are high, the task is enormous, and we have very little time to accomplish our mission. Our success requires the full dedication of each and every Sea Org member. It is imperative that the Sea Org counts within its ranks only people who have made the self-determined choice to be here. We respect the self-determinism of all beings, regardless of physical age. Bullshit. The future of every man, woman, and child on this planet. I was about to say another quote from KSW, but that's not what that is. The future of every man, woman, and child on this planet depends entirely on the Sea Org. We must be equal to the task. And that is the end of it.
Jeez. Man,
Now,
that's
where is 788?
so wow. So imagine again, like 67, very different time, where men were still like, in that dominant bullshit. And they're, you had to, you had that old set standard of what is masculinity, what is femininity. All that's being destroyed now, which is great. Evolution. But in that time, you were allowed to, abuse people. That you were allowed to, domestic abuse was almost allowed, and these kind of gross things. And what was I getting at? But so in that time period, that mentality, he's just being like, he waves his hand like, yes, if they're 10 years old, they're going to the Sea Org. That is what you read, right? It still boggles my mind.
Yeah, so the parents go to the class 5s when they're pregnant, work there, and can only come back to the Sea Org when their child is old enough to join the Sea Org and does so. That is fucked.
Of course the kid's going to be used. Of course the kid's going to come. They're going to they're going to be like...
They're going to brainwash the fucker.
Regging her? I don't know what the word is. They're going to be recruiting her really hard to say, okay, your 10 years is up. Let's go. And insults and whatever. They're going to do whatever they can. And they're going to get a new recruit on top of it. A new slave.
Now my brain is just trying to mix that with the billion-year contract's 21-year leave of absence. What if you have a kid who claims to have been past SO?
Hold on. My internet's acting up. Okay, it's better. Sorry, you said something and I couldn't quite hear you.
What if a kid at the age of 10 claims to be past life at Sea Org?
Yep.
But the Sea Org member gets a 21-year leave of absence when they die.
Right.
But the age to join is 10 at that point. I don't know when that was canceled. But
if they're that eager, if you're 10, 11 saying, yeah, I was past life OT, yeah, that's what my parents say, that's what my relatives say, and they acknowledge me. So yeah, I get a lot of attention if I say it. So hey, cool, man. And all right, you need to come back. Well, I'm gonna wait till I'm 18, okay? Like,
yes.
They'll be ready.
Yes.
They'll be doing ethics. They'll be thrown in ethics.
The child's like, I'll keep my PTO, thank you.
But dude, no, really, they'd really fuck with a 10-year-old like that. 10-year-olds, are precious. And what they do to the kids is so sad. Oh, I knew one. I knew one who thought they knew their dog, like from a past life or something. Really fucked up. But hey, I talk to my pets. That's different. She actually thought it was like, she perceived like it was I think a Scientologist or something like that, in her dog. So, okay, man, she was out there. If you knew her, she's pretty ditzy. All about glamour, money, nothing else, Just go to the events, donate, and that's it. And no substance as far as giving a shit, helping out the planet or helping out people. It's kind of making me segue into a funny discussion of what do class 5 staff think about public, the stuff that they never can say to public. It's funny. Look, public would aggravate the shit out of us because we're suffering, dude. We're fucking valet parking for them, all this bullshit, standing in the rain and fucking doing all these things for them. And, they see our condition, the staff. They know we're all run down and guaranteed. And they just pretend nothing's going on. Or we'd be pissed because we all believed in it. We'd be pissed that they're not helping enough. We'd be like, dude, you come here for like how many years? And you go to the events, but like you don't even fucking sell books. We'd be pissed. And we talk kind of behind their backs. Like, dude, this guy won't come, he don't care. He's a fucking wog, or he's a this or that. It happens a lot, I think, in many orgs. They're just like pissed off at the public because they don't dare join staff. Are you kidding me? But like as a staff member, you're like, come on, man. If you guys joined staff, we'd make it. Because that's the only recruits you have, dude. You don't have any other recruits. It's the same old, same old. And they've been like avoiding it for years. It's the same game over and over. So PK, they just say he was they say he wrote all these great trilogies and decologies and all this shit. And he was a very prolific writer. To be honest, many people have said his writing is not that good. I have yet to read it, and I won't read it. I just no.
No, you've already read it.
Yeah, I've played and I've read his live role-playing game called Scientology. It's pretty destructive. So they just puff it up, and he's also, yeah. It sounds like a pretty simple answer, but that's all they do. They brush it off. Like if I was on staff and people would say that to me, like if I'm body writing, and someone came up to me, wasn't LRH like science fiction writer? I'd just be like, yeah, he wrote a lot of cool things, yeah. But he also researched the mind. Yeah, let me show you film. You fucking, just being robotic. You brush it off. But now that I'm out, you can really see him being a sci-fi writer is like a pretty key element to his thought process and what he created. Like I remember when I was blown away about the org board when he said in the lecture series, the org board is trillions of years old, and I discovered it like it's a fucking little treasure because it can expand anyway, and it can you can fit as many people on it as you can. It's limitless, and you can have it up to like 2 people. And he was like, wow. I think about it now and I go, most boards can do that anyway. It's like, it's fill in the positions, I don't know. It's pretty messed up. But I believed it.
It's like his discovery of gradient scales.
Yeah.
When it came to studying. Never mind the fact that schools go by grades.
Yeah. Right.
Fuck that shit.
No shit. That's funny.
I'm just going to plagiarize, as I always do.
Let's see. Cool. me see what time it is here. Oh, it's getting late. So we should probably cut it off. And if you guys want to say anything, in a couple, we'll shut off in like 5 minutes or so.
Oh, I found Flag Order 788 called "Each Child Must Be Personally Told This."
Oh, let's see it.
They're not that special. It says these.
Oh, okay.
This is from 30 May 1968. These rules apply. 1. Any child who is here because someone else wanted it may leave the vessel. 2. Any
Great.
child.
Sorry. Do you mind saying it again? Do you mind reading it a bit slower, if you don't mind?
Any child who is here because someone else wanted it may leave the vessel.
May lead to what?
May leave, Leave, the vessel.
Interesting.
Any child who is being audited because someone else wanted it may not have auditing unless he or she asks for it. It is up to a captain to handle any problem arising from these rules, but they must be followed. And that's the end of it.
Now, you're talking about it like from a... it sounds very sane, sounds kind of sound. Okay, well, dude, they don't operate nice and kind. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, the parents of Scientologists, they use Scientology on their kids. When they want them to do an action, they're going to make them do it because it's the greatest good, whatever. That's some scary shit. That there sounds like it kind of covers the tracks, but I just know what it's like in the background. Like, yeah, you need auditing. You have to do it. I just paid for it. And like the kid's like, fuck, like, he's scared. Doesn't want to do it, but he's going to be told to do it.
No, that's not it. I'm trying to find the one flag order I had. It was a flag order or a base order. I can't remember. But it basically said, Sea Org members can beat the shit out of each other as long as they resolve their problems. Well, I think it's in my rules and tech thing.
Hey, T, I understand the concern, to put out your undercover video. Yeah, maybe talk with somebody you want to talk with who can help you out with that. Who's had experience with that same fear. It's understood, totally understood. But I'm sure you could reach out to somebody who's had that same fear before and has overcome it. And give you some reassurance that it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Nope, can't find it. I don't know where it is.
Man, I'm going to think of that word, man. I really wanted you to look up. It was a subject. I'll end up thinking about it. It's something to talk about later.
It'll happen when you're going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
Oh God.
That's a good clip to have.
I'm glad that kid is like at least saying he doesn't want it, at least being honest about not wanting to do it.
And even the kids at this age can fucking look up Scientology real easy. They're definitely going to look up, anybody is going to look up Scientology. All they're going to see is the exposure. Pretty awesome. All right, well, I'm going to have to end the stream. Good night, y'all. And maybe tomorrow I'll talk. see how I feel after work, and most likely stop by.
Cool.
All
Have
right,
a
good
good
night,
night,
y'all.
everybody. Night, Matt.
Good night. Thanks. All right, peace.